Hello, I'm Daniela. Today's video is the third prompt in the Stitch the Season 2024 online workshop, Santa's Magical Mission. The first prompt was the mission objective, the second prompt was the pre-flight inspection, and the third prompt today is protective gear. What do you think Santa or his reindeer or his elves would use for protective gear? He has to suit up before he goes out. I had a very fun time creating this layout. I even made some spectacles that Santa might use to protect his eyes or to help him see. I know that feeling. Well, I can't wait to show you how I created this layout.
So far we have the first page complete, the mission objective, and we have pages 2 and 3 also complete, the pre-flight inspection, or pre-flight, depending on what you want to do. Got my little elf here with its iPad inspecting. So now for the next 2 pages, and these are on separate pages, but they're going to be a single layout, or appear to be, it's protective gear. So this is something Santa will use, or maybe one of the reindeer or one of the elves will use to make the mission complete and to protect themselves. Now the one thing I wanted to do was take out this stitching across here. When I fold up my front and back of the first page, it's just a little shy, and I have this ability to take out this basting stitch and reattach this so that it's slightly bigger. So I'll take out a seam ripper. You can use a sharp pair of scissors, like a little teeny pair like this would work fine. And I'm just going to go on the back side and just pull some of those stitches out. And all I do is insert this in with the red bulb up and just push forward, and that clips that basting stitch. I want to make sure I have the entire length done on this page, and usually when I get it started I can pull it up, just do a few more stitches as needed. And you can start to see the seam come undone. Can pull all the stitches here. I'll just snip the edge. And I want to very carefully unfold it. I might have to take out a few basting seams from the top piece as well, just so that if it was stitched down, just so that I can unfold it again. And so now I have a little bit more give on this page. I might just fold it 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch or so, and it just gives me a little more room to play with. So I'll press that down and I'll rebaste it just accordingly. But I want to get started right away with the protective gear, how I'm going to create this illustration. I'll take the prompt and just set it aside for now. So when I think of protective gear for Santa, I think of his boots and his hat to keep his head warm, and his mittens to keep his hands warm, and maybe his glasses or his belt. But there are other things you can incorporate into this. For me though, that's what I want to do. And I want to create a background so I don't have the white of the page showing. So I have this fabric that I've cut to the page size, and I'm going to have the raw edge show. And I'll just stitch around the perimeter. I just like that background a little better, because when I put the boots and the hat and maybe the mittens on, I want it to stand out, and I like that contrast. I have some red fabric for the hat and the mittens, and I have some of this black fake leather that I'm going to use for the boots. I think it's a cute effect. I kind of did some sketches here, maybe the belt, the boots, the mittens, and so I'm just going to try and transfer them and cut them out to use on my piece. One more thing is I have this ribbon. It's white and furry, and this will be the perfect addition to the top of the boots, the brim of the hat, as well as the mittens. I think that's a cute touch. So I'll cut these out and we'll come back and place them. So I have my shapes cut out. I have 2 boots, which I'm going to kind of just overlap a little this way. I think that's a pretty good effect. And I can stitch those down and stitch additional stitches just to give it some dimension. I have my hat with the fold, and that will go on this page. as well as 2 gloves. Maybe I'll tip the hat this way. I can always trim down the gloves. I have some of this white fur for the brim of the hat and a little bit more for the brim of the boots and some for the mittens. Now I don't want the same thickness on the mittens and the boots and the hat. I want it proportional. So I'll probably fold this in half and stitch it down. And I'll play with this. I might use the whole piece or not, it depends. I did have another idea for up here, but I'm going to stitch this down and come back and see where it will fit. I also need to make sure I have my label somewhere. So I'll play around with that. So I've stitched down all the pieces. Use the red thread here, stitch down a little fluff, which I think really adds a nice detail to it. And then I stitched down right through this fake leather paper. It was actually a pleasure to stitch through. It was very enjoyable, very easy. I have my label. I wanted something up here. I was thinking maybe using a belt, but then I thought I'll make a pair of glasses for Santa. Now I use that page protector for the lenses. That's an optional step. And I just bent some wire right here. This is just the gold wire. And I'll quickly show you how I did that. So to make the glasses, I have just some wire here. This is just a little leftover wire. It's pretty thick. I'd say 16 gauge, 18 gauge. And I just cut off a piece. You want longer than you think you'll need. So this is almost a foot long. And I'm using little bolt cutters and needle nose pliers to do this. Other than that, it's pretty simple. So I'm going to take whatever size lens I want. I found this either Mod Podge jar or this little glue stick, something smooth so I can slide it off when I'm done. I leave a little stem for the arm of the glasses, and then I can just pull my wire around. Because it's so thick, it's easy to manipulate with your hands. I pull it taut, and I have one lens, and then I just space it accordingly and create that second lens. There's a little bit of give here, and you can see what I mean about using a little more wire than you think you'll need. And when I slide it off, I have the 2 lenses, and now I can figure out the little arms of the glasses, something like this. And because I'm going to set it down, if I was going to make it 3-dimensional, I would just turn it to the side like this. But because I'm putting it down flat, I'm going to put it just at a slight angle. And the same thing here. I'm going to bend this around, make that little ear loop. I can take my round nose pliers if I want, and just curl the ends a little more. And then I can take that page protector, just cut off a piece. I don't think it really even needs the page protector to make the lenses, but that's completely optional if you want to make it a little more authentic. I take some glue and I put it on the bottom of the glasses. Just separate them a little more. Make a little bead of glue just on the lens. And then I just set it down on the page protector and let it dry. After it's dried, I can trim around it. Doesn't even have to be the most perfect job of trimming. As you can see, this one isn't. And then I'll just tack this down with a couching stitch, and I'll show you when it's complete. So when the glasses are dried, I have just the little lens area here. I could trim it up a little further, but I've got a little prop, the glasses, and you can see the reflection in the camera. So then I have my completed pages for 4 and 5, the protective gear prompt. I love how this came out. I attached the glasses here, and it's just looking very reminiscent of Santa, tongue-in-cheek with the protective gear. The next prompt will be for the next 2 pages, and this is departure. Can't wait to see you for the next video.
So that's the 3rd prompt in the series. I love how this is coming along. This workshop has been so fun. I I hope you post your work in our Facebook group, Stitch the Season 2024, and I hope you're enjoying this workshop. As usual, if you find this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time for the next video.